time for a werewolf from Wisconsin named Kevin reviewing horror comics for you to hopefully find something you can enjoy and check it out in the future. Last episode we ended up with a shock shop, which I'm like, I could have swore I read 2 issues and I only had the one. Well, the other one was on my other stack, and that's why. We got shock shops number 2 starting out, and as we know from the first one, this is a flip cover. You got a story on each side. Don't have to read either side before the other one. Stories are all their own, set up by their own style, spingly horror host type character. And the story, well, the first story runs off our story from the first issue, where a person buys a house and finds out that the house has more to offer than they bargained for. And in this one, we get a little deeper into the family's demise or control. It depends on which family member does what. But this was created by Colin Bunn, by the way. That's why it was something that was easy to grab. I love everything he's, well, not everything. I haven't followed everything he's done, but I have checked out. I have enjoyed quite a bit. And then our other story also follows off something in the woods, in the dark. Also goes deeper into our characters' issues and stories in the woods and what's happening to everybody along the way. I'd love to show you some stuff from in here, but I like how these stories are going further. They're not just the one-shot, bam, short story that you're getting. They're playing it differently by giving you an extended version of the stories. I'm not sure if they're going to stick only with these stories, these 2, and keep going back and forth, or if we're going to get some new stories out of this. Very well done. I suggest checking them out. Shock Shop. We're up to number 2 or 3 now, and the third one might be coming out here pretty quick. This is by Dark Horse Comics, Colin Bunn, and a variety of other people. Check those out. Then I was going through an old box of mine, and it was cool because they have the Werewolf by Night series out on Disney Plus. Well, not series; it's just a hour-long special where we get to get a little introduction for people to Man-Thing, and we get the Werewolf by Night character and Van Helsing, Lies, and all that. But the Strange Tales, Werewolf by Night, starring Man-Thing, number 1 and number 2. I'm not a fan of the art style. I never really liked I don't think it's ever really done well when they get into the painted style character work. It's just flat to me, but they do a wonderful job. Each one starts inside cover, giving you the layout of the characters that are going to be in the stories. There's two different stories that are going on in here. Like this first issue has the Werewolf by Night story and Tomb for Two. We have Werewolf by Night. It gives you the main characters that are in the story and then gives you a little basis for each of them. We got Roxana, Smedley, Brother Stephen, Vampires, Len, and Phil. And then in the Man-Thing story, we have Ellen and the Silver Surfer. Previously while at lunch with his good friend Fred, Jack was contacted in the most mysterious of ways by the enigmatic Smedley. He informed Jack that the price for help in defeating the wolf demon was to perform a task for him and his shadowy benefactor. Jack was told to go to the underworld, a place for supernatural creatures, and find out who or what was responsible for the grisly murders on the streets of New York. Once there, Jack asked the leader of the Nether Realms, Ghost Rider, for some help with his situation, but not before he was attacked by two vampires. After fighting off the vampires and receiving no help from Ghost Rider, Jack decided to leave. But before leaving, Jack was approached by Brother Stephen, leader of the vampires, and apologized for his group's actions. As usual, Jack had to lock himself up 2 nights out of the month, but this time it was different. It was the first full moon since Jack overcame the wolf demon. When Jack awoke 2 days later, he saw a sight that chilled him to the bone. I'm not going to tell you any more from that. And the Man-Thing side of things, we got recent upheavals have shattered the nexus of all realities, scattering fragments of it throughout the earth and perhaps the universe. The Man-Thing is charged with repairing the nexus, hence saving all of reality from annihilation. His human guide on this hazardous quest is none other than Ellen Brandt herself, the woman whose betrayal caused the creature's very existence. Now seeking her own redemption through the salvation of all reality, thus far their quest has brought these two estranged lovers to an insane asylum in Massachusetts, cult in the Florida Everglades, and the ruins of an ancient city in the sunken continent of Atlantis. Meanwhile, an enigmatic being called Mr. Terminus has targeted a young boy named Job, kidnapping him from his adoptive parents and setting him on the path of some monumental destiny. Job, Ellen has discovered, is the biological son of herself and Ted Sallis, given up for adoption soon after Sallis became the Man-Thing. Now, as Ellen desperately tries to find her way back to her child, she and the Man-Thing find themselves in their most bizarre surroundings yet, and far from the world they call home, and battling with Silver Surfer to all take control of what's going on in the world, in the universe, and everything else. This style, just artwork pulled me out of it. The Werewolf by Night artwork was done nice. I enjoyed that. Uh, Stories were interesting. I had moments that were a little rough to read, and you also get a third story in here, A Tomb for Two, which brings us our zombified character. Simon Garth was a wealthy businessman and a very prominent man in the public eye. He was also known to be excessively cruel to his employees. Then, one day, his gardener Gyps vowed revenge on Garth for years of mistreatment and his recent firing. After kidnapping Garth and dragging him into the bayous of New Orleans, Gyps stabbed him to death. But not feeling the satisfaction he wanted, Gyps brought the corpse to a voodoo queen, who in turn changed Simon Garth into the mindless zombie. One of two magical amulets was placed around the zombie's neck. Whoever held the other had complete control over him. Recently, Lilith, daughter of Dracula, controlled the zombie, but with the help of Spider-Man and Hannibal King, the second amulet was given to the zombie's daughter, Donna Garth Mason, who brought her living dead father back to New Orleans. Yeah, this is a great little compilation of three different stories. Just wish the artwork didn't pull me out of it. It didn't pull me out of it enough to not enjoy the stories, but it definitely made it a tougher read with all of these. But well done. Nice little follow up to Werewolf by Night, and everything we learned from that little hour-ish long Disney Plus special. They're doing a lot of what are they called? Reprints. The commemorative. The special, bringing special issues and covers back like the Tomb of Dracula, Night of the Vampire, classic story that we've read many times before, and they have all the old advertisements, which I love when they do that just to bring back the memories. As your standard Dracula story, and you even get a little Lee Jeans did little cartoons back in the day. Get that for an advertisement, a little bonus cartoon. But if you like Bram Stoker Dracula, stuff like that, you'll like this story. Uh, it's your basic find a coffin, raise the dead, realize it's a vampire, deal with the curse, and all the punishment that comes along with it. Fun little advertisement where you can order the weird little stink bombs and all that, the fake blood, the dog turds vomit, the exploding cigarette things. Those things are freaking dangerous. Especially because some of us jackasses would put like 5 of them in someone's cigarette and then it would just go off boom, 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 boom. And it's right in their face and it's exploding. Really surprised there weren't lawsuits with that stuff. But apparently no one got hurt enough. Then we got Tom Holland's Fright Night, #2, by American Mythology Productions. Not overly thrilled with this. It's been very slow coming out. We should have had the whole run by now. I think it was over a year ago that it was originally talked about. The character artwork, I see similar characters from the past. They just aren't drawn as well as you would like. Characters in here kind of flow together to me. There's our crew of goofballs from the past. I think I'll like it better when I reread it. But our vampires in here and our people who live by them are a little different from the movie, but has that same feel to it. And we do have the characters from the movie in here, and it's like kind of a crossover and a reimagining all together in one. It's like, and it's based off the original novel. It's, I just, I feel like they just tried to remake it, but yet they didn't do it that well. I'm hoping it pulls together better, but also when you take a few months for each issue to come out, by the time you read the next issue, you have no freaking clue what you read the last time. You gotta go back and reread stuff. It's like you're better off just waiting for the trade paper to come out. Then you'll get all the cool covers in the cover gallery. You'll get maybe a little extra tiny bit of a story. Sometimes they throw that in there with the trades. So I would suggest go for the trade if they ever come out with it, but they got to finish this damn run first. I mean, Christ, we're looking at this could be another 10 years at the rate some of these companies go when they're bringing shit out. Gets old waiting for stuff. And Chris, I have stuff on the comic list from last October that hasn't been sent to me. I wish they'd just give me my money back, but we have Vampirella Mindwarp #3. This story this first page kind of depicts the characters all together. We got sorcerers, all kinds of sorcerers in Vampirella, and like this guy here is he's in someone else's body, and all that had been put through with like a curse or something, got stuck in that body, and we're dealing with Vampirella, which she's always got siblings that we're dealing with in these storylines, and then her lovers. And I like this one. It's kind of got that trippy dippy feel. And we come across some other people that we may or may not know from our past. And I like that they brought this off the last Vampirella run and gave us more deeper history on her immediate family, her new lover and child and all that, and brought together what was going on with them and got us deeper into the storyline, but you could have kept it on one run and just ran it out until it was done to death. Yeah, I was hoping this one would be more fun, more psychedelic, more play on the different, like the 60s version style Vampirella. But yeah, it's not bad, but a little slow. Vampire Slayer, number 7 from Boom Studios. I've said it in the past. I've complained. I'm sick of the whole woo woo, woe is me Willow that's got all the powers of everything and everybody. And Buffy being lost, trying to figure herself out. And here Buffy's having dreams of being a slayer. And she's eventually going to wake up and realize that she is the slayer, I'm assuming. Well, at the same time, we got Willow being the slayer and the witch and everything else. Do it all. She's Super Willow. And while that's happening, Buffy's alone on a dog, just exploring the world, and just comes across a bunch of spider webs in the woods, and gets to meet a new friend, a new spider friend. It's not Spider Man or Spider Girl, or it's a completely different spider friend, but yeah, hopefully Buffy's gonna wake up pretty soon, get her shit together, and be the slayer she is, and everybody else will get their shit together and go back to being who they were. For me, that's just not my cup of tea. I'm done. Unless I got another issue coming. It's been pre-ordered a while back. Off that run. I don't know how long they're planning on going with it. They haven't said anything. I would have been glad. Well, if this goes 12 issues, I might pick up the last ones and finish it. But I would have been glad with that being a little 6-issue miniseries one, and Buffy waking up halfway through it and getting her shit back together. Final one we're going to talk about. One of my favorites. Love everything they come out with this character. We got Victor Crowley's Hatchet Halloween Tales IV from American Mythology Productions. Congratulations to Ruben Morales. Oh, I suppose that doesn't matter. This guy he won a bid in a silent auction for a Yorkie San 6, a little dog promotion they did. It's the Movie Crypt podcast annual 48-hour live marathon to benefit Save a Yorkie Rescue. And it got him on Victor Crowley's radar to be killed in this issue of Hatchet Halloween. That would have been something cool to have done. I'd love to get in one of these comics. I'm drawn into a couple comics now, and this would be a fun one to be drawn into. But start out, you got Halloween, Honey Island Swamp, and we're learning that every Halloween, anybody that's killed by Victor Crowley comes back to life for one day as you were after you've been killed. So it kind of sucks if you, like, one character's kind of like chopped up hanging in a tree. So every year he doesn't really get to do much other than hang out, see what's going on. But we end up having crossover from that into an alien storyline where aliens come down to deal with Victor Crowley in their way, and they create something that may or may not be worthy of a challenge for Victor Crowley. And we got Blood for Blood, where someone happens or something happens to get resurrected in Crowley's yard from some blood of an enemy of his. Just lots of fun. Also has postcards from Honey Island Swamp, so you got some fun artwork in there. And then there's even a Color Me page in the back. And if you haven't checked out the Movie Crypt podcast, it's fun. I've checked it out in the past. They do a good job, and they do that auction every year, which they run. That thing lasts for a long time. They run their podcast marathon for that. I'd love to join into part of that, be a little segment on their yearly Yorkie-thon podcast. I'd gladly help out the dogs and all my little canine buddies. They deserve it. Gotta help out the critters. Save the critters, eat a human. Hey, hell, why not? But that's it for today, boys and girls. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Werewolf from Wisconsin, named Kevin, who may or may not be related to Svengoolie. We'll see. Hopefully you'll see more of us in the future. But we'll definitely keep doing horror comic reviews for you. Keep watching. Keep giving us those likes. Keep us alive. And we'll keep going. So be good. Check out Under the Call. Under the Call of MS. Crimson Call Comic Club. Under the Call of MS audio, video, and more to come in the future. Be good, kiddies. We'll be back. Or watch your back.